It looks bad.
Okay.
I know.
All right, it's 6:30. I'll call the meeting to order. If everybody please rise for a moment of silence, how about pledge of allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item is consent agenda. We have minutes from the May 3rd, 2022 regular meeting minutes, May 17th, 2022 regular meeting minutes. We have no financial report. So I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the May 3rd and May 17th, 2022 regular meeting minutes.
Second.
Motion made second. Any further discussion? Hold council.
Place 3,
Aye.
place 4,
Aye.
place 5,
Aye.
place 6,
Aye.
Mayor,
All right.
motion carried.
Item 5, presentations. We don't have anything. So next item is citizens' comments. Anybody want anything they got to say or want to say? Now's your time.
No pressure.
Did you have anything, Mindy? Okay. All right, so go down to discussion items. Item A is water bills, Councilwoman Johnny Allen.
I just had some concerns when I left on Wednesday. There was a line of people in line to pay their water bills. And one lady had just got out of her car and she found out that the building was locked. And so I said, well, maybe go around and go around to the drive-through and pay it. And come to find out that that was closed. And so my concern was going forward, well, not concern, going forward, would it be possible to make some kind of announcement to let them know that that the window is closed or that the building is closed or something? Because I don't know what the hours were that they were closed. But like I said, when I left, there was a line and people had got out their car and was getting ready to come in to pay their bills. And
Right.
so
we did close the city hall that day for the duration of the Civic Center ribbon cutting. So it was closed for about an hour. And then the girls alternated staff coming over here. So there was about an hour we were closed entirely. That way all the staff could attend that. So it was a pretty rare occurrence. On the update I sent out Friday, I'm sure everybody's aware now, but we are now shorthanded to staff member, full-time staff member, and is working to address that right now. The way we try to operate is we try to keep, if nothing else can be open, we try to keep the drive-through open as much as possible. So there's always at least one avenue available. However, with us now being down a full-time staff member and it being just Edna pretty much that's working the front, she has to stay up front to deal with both court and UB. So we've had to keep the drive-through closed for the majority of this week. So I hope to get that situation resolved, but we are aware of it. And we will certainly do everything we can to keep both locations open to try to service everybody.
well, I mean, even going forward, if we have a holiday, like for instance, a Christmas Eve or whatever, if that's on a Friday and y'all only want to work half a day, could you like give a notice ahead of time?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I mean, I for me to have to come up here, I may have just gotten paid and I come to pay my water bill. But I mean, if you don't have it, I'm going to either get charged the fee or either you may cut off my water by
Right.
being on the 15th or something. So that was just my concern. That was
Okay,
just my
completely
concern.
understandable. We can make sure that happens.
And also could they like, I mean, if you wanted to even just close it for an hour or two, it was in the newsletter about the ribbon cutting. So just you could have put in there
Notate
that
that.
it would be closed like for a couple of hours or something like that.
Yes, ma'am. We can certainly do a better job of that going forward. Absolutely.
Anything else on that?
No.
Next item, city council training and travel, Johnny Allen.
The TML conference in October is coming up and they're going to open registration next month. So I wanted to see if we could, next month, possibly, one while we had discussed travel and training for council, but we never got back to it. And so by that coming up in October and openings are next month, I wanted to see that if I go ahead and pay for the conference, if will be reimbursed in October. So we could possibly look at that next month.
So the staff answer to that is we will do whatever council decides to do as a whole moving forward. We can process that however you want. As it relates to the budget, that's obviously up to you as council and how much you want to allocate for council members to go and travel and training. So our answer is we'll act accordingly and however the council decides to move forward with that. So
Well, the TML's in October, so it's after the start of the budget. If you want to pay for it in advance, I don't have an issue with it.
Well, I always have to
Well,
pay
how
for
is
it in
that gonna
advance
affect the
anyway,
budget?
that and the
But
cost of the
we
class.
talked about doing that where we took care of it, but
But my
Since it's-
understanding was that we had $500 per year per council member to attend any trainings or conferences, and that we would not have to pay it up front if we had that money and it was for a purpose of the city.
yeah, but you gotta remember our budget doesn't start, the new budget till October 1st.
So whatever-
Johnny went to the one last year.
Okay,
She's used her money already
okay.
and then some, so.
Well, I mean, it's not like you're reimbursing me anyway. It wouldn't be till October. But I'm just seeing that
Okay, but
if
I'm
I
trying
pay
to,
for
I'm trying to
it,
tell you, I'm okay with it. It's it's after October 1st, it's the start of the new budget year. I'm okay with us paying you after the new budget starts, reimbursing you for it.
Where's
Because
it
we are
gonna
going to
be?
discuss that. I want to discuss travel and, it needs to be a little bit more than it was last year, but I don't want to get carried away.
That's
Because
what
we
I
are
was
using
I was just
taxpayer
gonna
money.
mention that we haven't gone over the council budget yet. So we haven't decided exactly, this year it was 500 per council member, but perhaps that number goes up next year.
Depending.
Depending.
Yeah, but where's it gonna be in October?
This October's in San Antonio, isn't it?
San Antonio, he's the one.
I think it's San Antonio.
Please be San Antonio.
Next year's in Dallas.
Okay.
So, and then, or maybe it's Dallas and it's down there again, then it's in Fort Worth.
we
I
need to try to
believe,
host
so.
it here.
What's that?
No.
Not big enough.
I can't. I'm just kidding.
Kind of sort of.
Not quite.
Well, this is probably something too. I mean, we've recently talked about overhauling the travel and training policy related to city employees. So it's probably good that we encompass all that into one when we bring that before you. So hopefully within the next few weeks, we'll have a policy in place for you to consider. So we'll consider council training as well as while we're writing that and try to get council covered in it too.
Cool. Thank you, Johnny.
Are
That's
you good with
good.
that answer?
Sure. Oh, you're going to reimburse me in October, correct?
Correct.
No problem.
Can you make sure that's in the minutes? Okay, thank you.
What I would do was after
Just in
the
case.
conference, I would just turn everything in then. And we reimburse you for your mileage and all that in one check. If that's good with you.
That's the way we normally do it, I believe.
Well, this isn't normal though. It's a little bit different scenario.
Well,
So
wait, what do you, okay, so what do you, I'm not understanding.
just gotta get all your stuff together. Go to the conference and when you come back, turn everything in.
Yeah, but
Turn in
hasn't,
your registration.
That's
and-
the way I've always done it to begin with.
So
Okay,
how
but
I
is
think what he's indicating is if you want to go ahead and turn it in as soon as you get
Doing
back,
it
instead of
ahead of
waiting
time.
till October, we'll just put it all on hold until October 1 and process it then.
but she's not gonna have everything. 'Cause
Yeah, it's
the
not until
Conference doesn't
October.
take
Does
place
it
till the
after
first week of
because she does
October.
mileage too.
Oh, I see. what you're saying.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying if she waited, then we could do her mileage and all that per diem and all, whatever.
Put it all in one.
Put it all in one
okay.
check. So that'd just be my recommendation, so. Okay, next item, traffic pattern change, Wichita and North Ray Street.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen here. So as everybody's aware, we've had a major traffic pattern change with Ray Street in Wichita. Overall, the traffic pattern has worked out very well on the north end. We have had little to no issues with vehicles coming southbound into the city of Everman. The delineators have worked very well. There's no confusion, no accidents. Everybody seems to be handling it quite well. Ray Street overall is also performing very well. We have very few issues. We have the occasional vehicles that just flat out ignore the signage that's posted, and there's significant amount of signage with one-ways and do not enters. We have do not enter signs at every intersection. We have one-way signs at every intersection on Ray Street. And so that's just drivers not paying attention. So we have very few issues on Ray Street. Where we have identified several issues is within the 100 block of Wichita. So what's happening is we're having vehicles that are coming down Enon. They're stopping at Wichita. They're either assuming or their GPS is leading them to turn northbound onto Wichita, thinking that they can continue northbound all the way to Interstate 20. They get to Trammell. They're forced to go one way or the other or turn around. Well, they take the path of least resistance. They're turning eastbound down Trammell over to Race and then connecting Race Street up north. That's creating quite a few issues, particularly with the rock trucks and cement trucks that we have that travel up and down Enon. So we've got these large trucks going down Trammell, in addition to all the excess traffic. So it's just completely unnecessary. So after the Civic Center ribbon cutting, we actually had a meeting, I think the following day, with the city engineer. We asked him to please take a look at this and provide us with some resolutions to the problem. And this was the resolution that we have come to that I just would like to get council to give me a general consensus and general thumbs up on. The city ordinances allow me to place signage as the police chief anywhere that's necessary to control the flow of traffic. So council doesn't need to approve an ordinance or anything. I just want to make sure I got your general thumbs up to do this. The engineer's recommendation is to continue the one-way all the way to Enon Avenue. The striping will be in the center of the roadway with an 8-foot shoulder on either side. So the center striping of the roadway should help to delineate to drivers that they are not to turn northbound onto Wichita from Enon. We will have the 3 stop signs that are already existing here. The flashing red lights have come in, and those will be installed later this week. We will place a no right turn and a no left turn sign below those stop signs at the intersection. We will move the do not enter signs down from where they're at Trammell down to closer to Enon. And we will replace the do not enter signs that currently stand at Trammell with wrong way signs as well, also indicating one-way signs at Trammell and Wichita. The hope here is that this will eliminate any traffic going northbound on Wichita, then down Trammell. There is a negative impact to know about this, and this could potentially negatively impact some of the businesses there. However, I don't think that impact is going to outweigh the negative impact that the residents on Trammell are feeling right now. It will be a little bit more difficult for anybody coming on Enon to get to the washateria or to the Chamoy business and businesses up here or the daycare. Their alternative is to either go up Race down Trammell to get to that business or go up Race to the U-turn and come back down Race that way, or they'll have to turn up one of these other side streets to get to those businesses. Those businesses are not overwhelmingly busy, that I foresee that there's going to be a huge negative impact on the residences there, as long as they're going to and from the businesses. It's the through traffic that's creating the major problem and the major nuisance.
I'm a little, can I stop you a minute, please?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a little bit lost. What street is this at the top?
This is Trammell. Whoop, this is Trammell right here, West Trammell Avenue, and this is Wichita.
One of the first streets of Everman.
And this is Enon down. Why is it doing that?
Enon goes parallel, horizontally right there. That's it. Okay, so speaking of Trammell, could we put no trucks sign up? And could we put no through traffic up?
We can put no through trucks up. We can put no trucks, but if they're delivering to or picking up from a business, we cannot legally prohibit them from driving down that roadway. It's a public roadway. Now, there are very few that do that, and certainly not the rock trucks. The rock trucks aren't delivering anywhere over here that they need to be going down these streets, but a UPS truck, FedEx truck, shipping truck, any sort of delivery truck, the Miller trucks, the beer trucks that come down to Wichita to deliver to the convenience stores, those vehicles, we can't restrict access to a business on a public roadway.
Why would a beer truck coming south need to turn on Trammell?
They don't need to turn on Trammell.
That's what I'm saying. They don't need to be on that road.
We can put no through trucks here, but if we can't put no trucks, period. We can't, if
Right,
somebody's
for
going to get a
FedEx
residential
and
delivery
UPS,
on an 18-wheeler, a big FedEx truck's going
Right.
to come in and deliver something.
Okay,
It has to be
Consider-
Can
delivering.
we do a wait?
yeah, can we do weight? Something to prohibit those big guys coming through. They don't need to be on that little
Right,
road.
because a truck is a truck. I mean, how can you
Well,
define?
Amazon
which-
Prime,
which-
you know,
which is-
UPS, yeah,
You get
but
the
a big
18-wheelers, they
18-wheeler,
weigh a lot.
no. And Miller's doesn't need to be on that little
No, Miller
Coolidge
does not.
Street.
When I said Miller in the beer trucks, I'm referring to Wichita. I'm not referring
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Trammell. I will need to talk to the city attorney about that.
Okay.
On whether we
Again,
can
last
flat
year when we
out
did this,
put a
I
weight
said they were gonna
restriction
do
on
that to Trammell, and they're doing it to Trammell.
Okay, so they would need to go down Wichita, make a right on Enon, and then come back down Race. So, because they're going down Trammell, is that what you're saying? They're going to need to do?
So right now they're forced to come south anyway. So if they're using Trammell essentially as a cut through, this will
Yes.
force them to go down to Enon.
Yes,
Well,
that's
it
which
won't
is what they
force
should
them.
be doing.
It won't necessarily force them. You may still get some vehicles that cut through here. We can put the no through truck signs up and try to deter that as much as we can. And if it's a truck that's not stopping on this street and it's driving on a no through truck route, they're certainly in violation, can be stopped and can be cited. It's if they're delivering to or picking up from there that
I
they're
understand that, that's business. They still don't need, Amazon Prime, UPS, those are not the big boys I'm talking about. Those, they have to make deliveries to houses. A beer truck, unless there's something going
No.
on, does not need to stop at a house.
But I agree, but some furniture trucks, if somebody's ordering
Well,
a
that's
house of
true.
furniture and things,
Furniture.
they're gonna come on,
That's-
they're gonna
Then,
come on
then,
big trucks.
then they're gonna have a delivery paper on them that says, I need to stop here.
Right. No,
Okay,
I think we're on the same page.
Okay.
I want you to understand, if we put a no trucks period and try to enforce that, if they're delivering to or from a residence on this particular
yes.
stretch of road, we're not gonna be able to enforce that.
Okay, so like Ms. Seller said, could we have a weight limit on the no truck sign?
I will have to research that with the
Okay,
city attorney
okay.
and see.
Something to try to limit that. Excuse me, I keep running right over you, I'm sorry.
Problem is that you're gonna have deliveries that are gonna be CDL 26,000 and one up and over, it's gonna restrict those, so. In order to be, the way it's going to be at the CDL mark, 26,000 pounds, but you're gonna have furniture delivery and whatnot that could be over that.
Well, that's true. A furniture truck can be just as big and heavy
Right.
as
And again, their passport would be a bill of lading that says I have to deliver to this place.
Correct.
I mean, that would comment out there.
I have a question. So I've been driving through this area very, very often right now to see what the traffic is really looking like and all that. And when I encountered the first time that I drove, why did we even give them an option to have a two-way on that Wichita Street? The space between Wichita and Race is not even that much to have a two-way there. Where cars, if they want to go to Chamoy, they can come down Race, go through Trammell, go to Chamoy, go to the Washteria, to those areas. To me, and I felt like it was causing so much issues for giving them that option on that road, when it should have just maintained itself being a one-way that way and a one-way this way on Race. So I've been driving it very often and there's no point. There is no point. So I was like, when did we agree to that? Well, I guess we did, right? But it does not make any sense. Believe me, it does not make any sense. And that is why we're having those trucks coming down through Trammell, because we're
Yes.
giving them that option there to be able to turn
right.
either left or right on Trammell. And there's no reason for them to do that.
No, and this was originally set up with the engineer's opinion as to not impact the businesses in that 100 block. But now that we've seen the reality of what it does and that it is significantly impacting the residences, he's now of the opinion that we go ahead and move this and convert this all to a one-way, all the way to Eden. So, yes.
Yes, I really thought that's what it was, because when I saw that, I was like, wait a minute, it's confusing everybody, but you can turn, but then you're gonna have to turn
No,
again.
you gotta have a
There was no point for that, you know what I mean?
It was
And
set
it
up
wouldn't
originally. like
impact
you said.
the businesses, because everybody coming down Wichita, you got the businesses right there. Anybody that needs to use those businesses can come through
Go
Trammell
around.
and get to those
Yeah,
businesses. So, yeah, we
It's
need to
not that
eliminate
big.
that in reality. I think that really is the big issue. If we just eliminate that, we've solved the situation. But, sir?
Most of the issue has been the trucks. But the biggest issue is the people that live over here use Trammell to cut through to get to Wichita.
Yes,
And that's the biggest problem. In the mornings, you can't get in or out of your driveway on Trammell because of the traffic, trying to get to the stores or whatever. I mean, what's the big deal? You go a few blocks and get on a one-way street and go back and puts you right there.
Yep.
You got 2 stop signs if you're crossing Race and Wichita.
Okay, so you're saying it's not the trucks, it's cars.
It's the trucks now coming from this little cleaning plant over here. The rock trucks are coming down there because of the way they come out. But traffic as a whole, there's more traffic up in the 500 and 600 block of West Trammell than there is on the.
Wow.
Craig,
Because people cut through the neighborhood.
it needs to be no through traffic
Mhm.
Yep.
and not
For a
no through
minimum.
truck, because no through traffic will get them all, right? I get trucks and that covers everybody. And needs to be posted on both ends. And Gilbert does have that on his list from Saturday.
Yes, the no through traffic, yes.
Yes, on both ends.
I asked for that last
Years
year.
ago, when the Wasatarea was Kelly's,
Mhm.
we had to put no parking signs up from 6P to 6A because on Friday and Saturday night, the people from Pinco and all, we couldn't even get in our driveway.
Mhm.
That's why this is gonna be.
Yep.
Issue.
Okay, so what
Vindicated.
is the suggestion, Craig?
So the suggestion, what I need from council, or what I'm asking council to approve tonight and give me a thumbs up on, is to convert the 100 block of Wichita to a one-way all the way to Edon.
Yes,
If we get the approval tonight, by the end of this week, we will have new signage up, ready to go. We will control the traffic with temporary construction cones. Restriping will occur, I believe, Monday morning is when he told me he could have the crews out here for the restriping.
Because we don't have that over here on Race. It's just the one way that way,
No, we
right?
do have a two-way. It is two-way right here in the 100 block of Race.
But why would we have a two-way like
Well,
that?
you've got vehicles that are coming in and out of the library, you've got the public works crews and everything that are coming out. If you don't have this as a two-way, all the public works vehicles and everybody leaving the library is either gonna have to cut through the parking lot of the library to get out on the Enon, or drive down Trammell by the school back around to Hansberger to get out.
well, they could go the other block of Trammell, hook a left on Carson.
I don't think I think all you're doing is you're moving the problem now from the 500 to 600 block of Trammell to the 300 and 400
Yes,
block of
yes,
Trammell.
yes.
If we get rid of this one way here or the two-way here, now the vehicles are forced to go down this section of road. All the vehicles that are leaving our public works lot, our police vehicles, everybody coming out of here is going to be forced to go down the 300 and 400 block of Trammell to get over to Edon to go north.
Okay, so what was the advantage of turning them both one way?
All this was, let me pull up my map. All this was with the purpose of eliminating the dangerous intersections here at Bell, Bell, Wichita, and Race.
Okay.
Because now these vehicles are forced to continue south, these vehicles are forced to continue north, and Bell Street is forced to make a right-hand turn and
Oh,
not
yeah.
cross this traffic that they can't see
Mm.
oncoming, where we get so many accidents a year.
Mm.
Yeah, and it also increased our parking at the park and local businesses and everything. All around, overall, it's been very beneficial with the exception of this area right here. This is where we've got the problem.
Overwhelmingly 90% positive response out of it.
Okay, so then now I'm confused because if we're gonna continue the two-way on this side and then we're gonna cancel out the two-way on the other
Yep.
side.
Yep.
I mean, what is the point then? So what is the issue with that? Just the trucks? Is that really the issue or the wet traffic? Because if we close that way, then they're still gonna have to go down Trammell to get to Chamoy or to Washitaria if it's only that one way that way. So people coming on on Enon will have to turn on Race and then go Trammell to go to Chamoy or the Washitaria.
We're not going to be able to eliminate traffic on Trammell.
Correct or
There's
no?
no way to completely eliminate traffic on any residential street. The purpose with this is to eliminate the truck traffic and the traffic that thinks they can get to Interstate 20 by turning left onto Wichita. And then now going down Trammell, turning it into a thoroughfare, because there's so many vehicles that are mistakenly turning onto Wichita thinking they can go northbound and then are forced to turn down Trammell. We're forcing all those cars down Trammell. By doing this, this will eliminate those vehicles from going northbound on Wichita, therefore never giving them an opportunity to turn
Yeah,
down.
then they'll just
Trammell.
go down.
And
Enon
they'll go
head
down, they'll go
this
down
way.
Enon to Race and then
Yes.
continue northbound from there, where they have a pathway to get all the way to the interstate.
So the traffic and commotion is really coming down Wichita,
The
really not
biggest,
from Race.
the biggest issue that we have is Wichita, yes.
Okay.
We don't have as many issues on the Race side, primarily because any vehicle that turns into this area where we've got the new traffic pattern, they can continue north. There's nothing prohibiting them from going north. If they choose to turn down Trammell, they're making a choice to turn down Trammell, but there's nothing forcing them to go down Trammell. If they turn north on Wichita, they're forced to go down Trammell.
Yeah, okay. See it. Yeah,
So
And so
There's no
what,
oncoming
what,
traffic that they're
yeah,
going
so that's why
to-
we're just gonna
yeah.
push them over to Race so they can go
Hmm.
north that way.
So what would happen if we went ahead and put that stop sign back so they could turn and make it just the two-way right there in front of the library?
We said it was a two-way.
Yeah,
from
that
the
one will
library.
continue being a two.
That section is
that
two-way.
one little block?
You talking about this
That
right
is
here?
not going to,
With the stop sign here?
yeah. that-
Yes.
That is a two-way there with the library.
Yeah, there's no stop sign now going northbound.
I know.
I know, because I was gonna stop.
I know, I was gonna
Yeah.
stop too, and I saw, and I was like, oh, I get the way.
Everybody has.
So the
And
one-way
it will.
starts from Enon on,
From Trammell.
From Trammell. on.
Trammell
from
on.
Trammell
Yeah.
on.
And why do we not want the city vehicles to go on Trammell past the elementary school? Because school starts at 7:50.
Well, we can, but keep in mind, anytime that the school zone's activated, they can't turn right here. So all these vehicles are gonna have to go all the way down through, you've just now relocated the problem that we're having the 500-600 block to in front of all these houses. You're forcing all city vehicles, any vehicles that are coming to or from the library, public works, police department, fire department, all these vehicles now down Trammell over to Parker.
Right.
And then back up. So all you've done is relocate that if we convert this. the rest of
So
this
so
to a-
really,
We're
like-
stuck.
like the trucks that are coming down from Race, right, coming down Enon, and they turn on that little two-way thing that we have
In
right here
front
on
of the library.
Wichita.
Uh-huh.
Those are the ones that are forced to turn on
Wait.
Trammell. But if they know that they can't go there anymore, then they will come down Enon, turn on
Enon.
Race, which.
Correct me
that
if I'm
is
wrong,
what
we're
they
not
should
seeing
be
any
doing,
issues
yes.
coming
Yes,
off
so
the
that's the
road.
reason why that one does
I
need
mean,
to
you're
be
not
canceled
seeing-
out. The one here.
No, I
doesn't
agree.
cause a
But
problem.
this right here
Problem
is still a.
Well, people have been cutting in across
They're
the
cutting-
center here.
From-
This is Enon.
From the library
Cutting right through
up
the
to
convention, the center.
Trammell.
But most of it's coming off Wichita. Most of your problems coming off Wichita.
Right now,
Yeah.
there's-
Okay.
Yeah, because they want to go that way
Yeah.
and then they realize they
If we're gonna
can't,
do
so they cut
Yeah,
through. So
they're
they really
forced
should be
to
forced to
make
come
it.
down Race
All
to
of
get
these
north.
city businesses
Or
right in
is
here.
the,
have to
is
come-
the center
isn't
here,
right
is
down.
it closed
it.
off during
All of
the
those-
day or?
If they can turn.
It's
west
Not
to
yet, but we
Race
are
for one
looking
block,
at pricing to do that
then they
because
had
we
to
have so many people cutting
Otherwise,
through. our
they-
Right,
marketplace.
exactly.
go
That's all
one
I've
way or the
seen
other
was
way.
people cutting
And
there.
all those police
So,
cars, all the city vehicles.
Okay,
everything
so-
back
But
there.
once we eliminate
But
that,
it's
that
really,
thing, they
really
shouldn't be cutting through
confusing.
Oh, I
the
agree.
city.
Because-
That'll reduce the
Yeah,
amount of traffic that's going
Well,
down
we
the
got that
street
double
right
yellow
now.
Right, right.
Like
Which
Craig
that does
said, it
make
won't
sense.
eliminate it, but it'll.
Right.
The
And
cars
it's
won't be,
two-way on that
they
double yellow
won't be
stripe.
making that left turn and being forced
To
to
come
take.
Yeah,
down this way,
yes.
right,
So-
right. No, it makes sense.
All right, so Craig's looking for a, kind of a thumbs up on this. Is everybody good
On which part?
on the Wichita part?
Oh, yes,
One
yes, the
block.
Wichita part.
Making it one way. Everybody good with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but to add a little more pain to this. On Race, where it's the double solid stripe and it's two-way on that one block, how are we gonna let people know that? Because it looks like we've turned Race totally south, up wrong, Wichita totally south, Race totally north, except for this one itty bitty block.
right.
So boy, this is government at work. That was not aimed at you.
I work in
We
government,
need
it's
to
all
let
right.
people know, because if it's
The
one way,
stripe,
it's one
it's
way,
fine.
right? Which means I can drive on the left-hand lane, except it's got those screwy, solid yellow stripes, but can I drive on the left because it should be one way? So we need to let people know for one block, it's two-way.
I'm not trying to be funny, but that's what double yellow is.
Yes. that
I
people should
know,
what the
I
blue-
know. It's,
Okay.
there's also use your blinker and stop fully at a stop sign and blah, blah, blah.
Might
There's
be
a
able
little
to put a
blank
stop
traffic
sign back
law.
down there.
Yes,
That's
put the
with
stop sign back there.
line to-
Something, they just need to know that. We can't bank on their knowing.
Oh, we'll just put the sign that says two-way on that little
Right. that's what I
thing
was
right
gonna
there and
say,
that's
put some
it. But
type
the
of
yellow
sign or
line should
something
be
up.
enough to know that that's one way
Yes,
here and one way
as
that.
soon as I saw that, I went,
oh.
why? I'm just saying they're not used to it, and it's completely flukish because it's one block. Where the heck did that come
It's
from?
not even a block.
Yeah,
Half a
yeah,
block.
yeah, and they don't know the rationale, so I think we need to let people
It's
know.
not really one block. because
Somehow.
It goes the rest of the way. It's two.
In all fairness to our citizens and to be completely transparent, we need to let them know what that means. I don't know how that's gonna happen, but it's just, it's
I
not
guess I'm just
fair.
confused on how we haven't achieved that. Because that particular stretch of, that's what the double yellow striping is.
Yes,
And then at Trammell and Ray Street, there is not a one-way sign because when you come to Trammell or when you come to Race on Trammell from either side,
Mhm.
you can turn either direction. You can turn northbound, you can turn southbound. So there's nothing there regulating which way they turn. But from that point north, at any point that intersects that roadway, including private parking lots, we have one-way signs that all indicate everything is one way going north from that point
Cool.
forward.
can we tell people? I'm
How-
just
how do you
asking,
want me
we
to tell
need to advertise, it's all I'm saying. It's
Mm.
properly marked according to the Texas Driver's Handbook. Solid yellow lines mean bozo, stay on your side.
Okay,
It's,
I mean, we can do more social media campaign. I mean, we
Yes.
pushed it out pretty hard.
I-
I can
haven't-
put more information out there if you'd like.
Yes.
We can put it on the website.
well,
Okay.
Chief, look at it from somebody who doesn't live around here's perspective.
I'm trying.
I understand,
I'm
I
looking at it from a
understand.
police officer perspective, wanting to say it's a double yellow line. You should know what a
Yep,
double.
yep. But I'm looking at it from bozo's perspective. I need to know that it's two-way on this block because it's one way everywhere else, and it's just
But
that
it's
one little
two-
piece.
But it's two-way the rest of the way. That direction.
But
Going
most,
southbound.
most of the
Going
younger people
southbound,
are
so-
not gonna pay attention to that. They're not gonna know this.
No, they're
I don't
not.
care.
People don't look, is what I'm saying.
A lot of them
Okay.
don't even have driver's license now, so, you know.
And if you don't have a driver's license, you're not a citizen. So, you're not a human, is what I mean. You're not a
Well,
human.
the one thing to keep in mind is
Just
with the
stop.
one-way streets, 99% of the traffic on that street is gonna be heading north.
On race,
Yes,
absolutely.
even that
One
small
little block.
section, the
Yep.
people are gonna treat it as a one-way.
Do we
For
have?
the
Which
most part.
means they
But-
can drive on the
But the only
left-hand
people
lane.
who'll be
Have a-
coming
a
south
map
would be the
for this
people
little
off their
area already?
street, or like
Have
Craig
we
said,
shared
our
it with,
city
school
employees
districts
coming
so we can put it
across.
through
Right.
Kickstarter and
But
everything
if,
else?
Correct.
Which I
if
think
it's
I have
one way,
seen.
they're gonna
Yes.
say, I can
Yeah,
drive
we
on either
invited Glenn
side.
Brown to be a
Right.
part of all this. too.
That's the
Okay, yeah, I
issue.
think I already saw it. So I think. we're
And they're
just
gonna
distributing it
overlook
enough.
those solid yellow lines. They're not gonna pay attention to
Yeah.
it because people, I'm
The
telling you.
reality is the only traffic that you're typically seeing there is
If we get
city staff.
function,
and
right.
those
So
who
the,
are on Trammell already that
double
are
lines
residents.
are
Yeah.
down here.
So-
No, back here
Oh,
in
back
front of the
here.
library.
But I
Right
do
there
have
in
to
front of
say
the
that the
library.
stop signs
Right
really
by the
threw people
library.
off over here
I'm
on
gonna say I've
Enon,
not-
I mean,
I've not
on
noticed
Enon
that.
and Wichita.
See?
I'm
Because
not
I
noticing
would-
Thank
that.
you for saying that, John. You just
You know,
proved
I,
that
I
to
I
us.
just
some
told
of
you
them
I
are
didn't
like,
see the stop
"Ooh,
sign. I mean, I was just waiting for the stop
I know.
sign. too,
Yes,
so.
yes. See, right here. She
I don't
hadn't been
care.
paying
There were
attention
five
to the solid
conversations
red
happening
line.
at once. I couldn't keep track of what
I
was happening.
know, sorry. She,
All right.
Miss Johnny has
I
not
didn't notice the
seen, has
double
not
lines
noticed the solid
back here
yellow
at the
lines.
library. So-
Okay, so
Thank you.
let's make this recommendation. We're gonna
And we'll
change
look
this to
into
one
this.
way over here.
Yep.
Craig,
I will
from a
research it
safety
and see what I can
standpoint,
do.
review it
Yep,
and
We'll go on.
let us know.
thank you.
Well, and then you remember you can put those flashing lights up there.
Yes, ma'am.
For
Right.
price.
And we have new ones.
Okay, so let's move on.
Okay, we beat that up.
Okay.
Got our money's worth out of that.
Next item is budget planning calendar.
All right.
Do we have one?
Well,
I don't think.
No,
got
I
one.
didn't provide a new one because this was just open for discussion because at the last meeting, we had briefly talked about combining a few of these meetings, doing a full day Saturday session, kind of maybe eliminate some of this
Well,
Uh,
basically, the reason we're asking to combine them is if you look at the calendar, every Tuesday in the month of July is booked up and you can't take a vacation. If you want to
Oh,
go
ma'am.
off for a week,
I completely get it.
and I'm gonna say the words you don't want to hear me say, we used to do it all at once. Or in a one big work session or so. We didn't spread it out across the month.
Oh, I'm all for it.
I don't think you're gonna get any opposition from
Okay,
city
good.
staff on.
No,
on this.
I'm just saying it's not gonna happen before the interim audit starts.
What?
When?
The auditors will be here in 3 weeks, so I'm super
The
swamped.
auditors.
So
it won't be in July. It'll
it
in
will be in
August.
July. I'm just saying that it will not be before the 16th.
Which auditors?
Our auditors,
The city auditor.
they come every summer. They
do
come for a
They do a
week,
midterm audit.
they
every
come
year.
for a week in the summer and then they come again in the
Okay.
fall. So
I just
So
now
it'll be-
remembered that, yes.
So it'll be after
So-
July 16th.
I'm swamped with budget as well as audit. So
So our budget meetings will be after July 16th.
if we're gonna combine it to all one meeting, yes.
Okay, I'm just trying to get a feel for, I don't care what day. It's just, I'm gonna be real honest. For one time, I'm thinking of myself. I've retired. I need to know when these meetings are because I'm playing. I'm enjoying it and I can't plan anything if I have 5 meetings to go to.
I have a question. We do have the meeting on the 5th.
We have a regular council meeting on the 5th.
So is there a way that we can cancel that meeting since it's the day after 4th of July? Like I'll be on vacation that whole week. I mean, it's 4th of July, a lot of people do take that 4th of July week off.
That's
I'm just
y'all.
saying that, I'm just suggesting that.
Ma'am,
because-
you won't catch any argument from staff.
I mean,
It would depend. if
We
any
will be
matters
here
came
whether
up
you're
that
here or
needed to be
not,
immediately
so-
addressed.
come with it.
Well, we used to occasionally not have.
But remember, we always had a work session and then a regular meeting. Now we do 2 regular meetings.
The only dates,
Combined The work and the other one together at times too.
Yes, we did.
the only dates that I cannot change. I will not have the proposed tax rates from Tarrant County until July 25th.
Right.
So we can do proposals prior to that. And then the public hearing has to be on August 9th. So,
That's cool.
but that's a regular. That one's not a regular meeting. but
No, it's between the meetings.
It's
August
between the
9th.
meetings. That's
So
correct.
what it sounds like is there's a proposal on the table to cancel the July 5th city council meeting. Have a all-day Saturday, July 23rd meeting.
Well, not personally, I mean, if you have anybody else not traveling or doing anything and something does come up and y'all have to hold a meeting on July 5th, as long as y'all have a quorum, correct? That's how it goes.
It's
So-
okay, we'll accommodate you.
Oh,
She wants
I
it.
mean, sorry.
That's
I
why
know,
I
I should've
included
said
that in
that
your
like that, but
So
sorry.
So it sounds like we need to have an all-day Saturday meeting to cover
Or however
a
long it
majority of the
takes.
stuff, and then whatever we don't cover in that meeting, we'll cover during our regular
So-
council meeting.
Why not do it a Tuesday and Thursday or something like that?
I'll be here. You guys tell me when.
Cause you tying up the weekend talking about Saturday.
It doesn't last all
I'm with
day.
you.
I know, but
Just gonna go on record and say my anniversary is on the 30th. so I won't
If-
be here.
If council wants to do it on a Saturday, I would say that we need to do it on the 23rd. So that we have all the information and kind of general guidance from council on how you want to proceed forward. Because we'll receive the tax rolls and information on the 25th. So we can then plug the
Potentially the
numbers.
22nd.
Potentially. We'll plug in all the numbers. We'll get a good idea of where we're at. And that will give us ample opportunity to come back with you with any amendments or any changes to it before we look to adopt it on the 9th.
And by then we'll have our health insurance rates.
Oh,
and
yes.
everything.
We'll have our health insurance
We already
rates by the
have, we already
first
have
week in July.
proposed
What's
numbers.
that?
We already have proposed numbers on that.
Oh, you do? Okay. So want to do it Saturday and knock it out?
What?
Is that what I'm hearing?
How many hours are we talking about?
It would be one Saturday.
A full day?
Well,
From
From
just
10
till
a.m. to 10 p.m.
we get done.
Oh, okay.
It,
And we'll have materials ahead of time, so we'll have our questions ahead of time. Johnny's very good with getting questions.
well, but we've been, So far,
Dirty
we've gone
budget, that
through
was a
stuff, the
compliment.
way everything is set up, we've gone through it pretty quickly, so.
Yes,
I mean, I could see us being here 3 or 4 hours maybe.
I can tell you that we're not planning any extraordinary capital expenditures or anything crazy this next, so it should be a fairly straightforward.
But keep in
budget
mind that there are changes as far as all of our account codes have now changed with the new system. So if you're going to be comparing last year's to this year's, you're gonna want to look at the description versus the account number because you'll get
Gotcha,
lost.
gotcha. Okay, but if we get all of this material
Yes.
ahead of time, that will
We
give us a
should.
chance to study
Exactly.
so
Sounds
that
good.
they don't hand it, you
The
don't hand
only-
it to us Saturday morning.
If we're, yes, correct. If we do the
Yes.
23rd, the only thing that you would receive that day is the proposed tax rate. But
Okay.
all of the departments and all of the expenditures and for that side, yes, you can have that ahead of time.
Okay,
Absolutely.
like
Yeah.
more than 2 days.
Yes,
as
ma'am.
Far in advance is absolutely possible. Because it's the budget and we need
Why-
to study that.
Why don't you give us a cutoff? How much time does council absolutely have to have to review this before we meet?
We need it by Wednesday before the Saturday.
I was gonna say 4 days.
Sounds good.
20th.
So the 19th is the council meeting. We need it by then.
Oh, now you're pushing it up another day, ma'am.
I said I was gonna have for 4.
Yeah, I got you.
And so here's another thing. I know that most of us would really appreciate a printed copy of it.
Yes.
I do remember that
Thank
and I
you.
will be.
Thank you. It's
I will
a
have it.
massive amount of data and my eyeballs spin in their sockets
That's fine.
when I have to do that on the
Yeah.
screen. Okay,
got you.
thank you.
Mhm.
That's not even funny.
Okay, so we're
Alright.
not gonna have our first meeting in
July 5th,
July unless we absolutely have to.
Right.
okay,
We'll
Yeah.
have our regular meeting on the
19th.
19th.
Mhm.
Then 23rd, we'll come in and do a budget workshop.
Mhm.
And I guess we need anything else that'll be done during our regular meeting in August.
Which would be the
Correct.
2nd.
August 2nd and then
Unless we need
and
to-
then public hearing August 9th.
If something weird happens, we'll call a special meeting if we have to, but
Right.
I don't anticipate that happening. So
Should,
are we
What,
good?
what time on Saturday? 10?
9.
Mhm.
I know it's Saturday. If we get started at 9, that means we'll be over 1-ish and we can have the rest. of
You're
the day.
hopeful.
Why, you're going to have us so prepared, it's gonna be a wash, right?
Okay.
We'll be good.
okay.
Will you be able to be there by 9?
I'll be here by 9.
Bless your heart.
Okay,
Thank you.
so 9
It's only
o'clock.
one Saturday.
I know.
This is the way we used to do them, Miriam, and
Oh,
we
really?
used to got a lot done doing
Oh.
those, so.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll
I'm
be here at
assuming, would council prefer to meet
Yeah.
here, or would you rather meet across the street in the conference room?
Across the street. Let's
Yeah.
use our new building.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree.
I think I
Okay.
want to do that.
We will,
Why?
we will post that on the website. as well.
We'll just tell him to be in the other end of the room.
Huh? Well, because I think.
That will-
this would
that
be
will make
more Space.
Aired
spread
out.
stuff
We
out.
can do it.
Yeah, for the Zoom room.
I don't.
I'm okay.
I don't-
I'll
I
go
don't- I
either
don't wanna
way.
Be in that little. that room.
I'll
Okay,
go
well,
either
why
way.
don't we just set some tables out and use the hall?
What are they, they're kind of,
Instead of a conference room.
Oh, no.
Oh, but we'll need the screen and. all
it'll
that
be
stuff.
in the
Yeah, got it.
Zoom room
That would be.
because
We've changed our minds.
why?
We've changed our minds. We want to have it here in council chambers.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
The microphone is on.
Gotcha.
Okay, we done with that?
Yes.
We got
It
it.
has to be live streamed regardless whether it's here or over there.
Right,
Just for
of
the record.
course, yes.
Okay, next item, item 8, consideration possible action. Item A, adopt resolution 2022-06-02, resolution of City of Everman, Texas, adopting the Everman Civic Center as the name for the building previously known as the Everman City Hall Annex. I will entertain a motion.
I move we approve resolution number 2022-06-02 as read.
Second.
Motion made second. Any further discussion?
I just want to highlight the reason why we're doing this at this point is we had to wait for the project to close out legally for us to be able to do the official name change. So that's why it is being brought to you now and not previously.
If there's no comments, Mindy, would you poll the council?
Place 3,
Aye.
place 4,
Aye.
place 5,
Aye.
place 6,
Aye.
Mayor,
Aye.
motion carries.
Item B, approve ordinance number 782, an ordinance of the City Council of Everman, Texas. The zoning ordinance appendix B, section 4.13, principal permitted use table, entertainment, amusements, and providing findings of fact, amendment, repealment, severability, and effective date and proper notice. I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve ordinance 782 as read.
Second.
Should've brought my glasses. Motion made and second. Any further discussion?
What
Yes.
exactly is it?
So this is my fault. It was not brought to you beforehand. This was supposed to be on the last meeting agenda to talk about. That's my fault. It was overseen. But essentially, there is an error within our zoning ordinance. The permitted use table states that outdoor amusement is allowed and permitted in commercially zoned properties. Indoor amusement is not. So anybody who wishes to open up an arcade room or a bowling alley or anything like that in a commercially zoned property is not allowed to do so. However, if Six Flags wants to move in, they can. It's backwards. And I think it was just a typo that was not caught when the zoning ordinance was passed. We now have a lady who is bringing a children's business here. She wants to open up a children's game room there and host birthday parties and those sorts of things, but the zoning ordinance prohibits it. So we've granted her temporary variance to be able to move forward and allowing that business to start. So she's already started the process of opening this business up under the presumption that council would approve this zoning change. Planning and Zoning Commission has already met on this, had a public hearing and approved it with a recommendation that city council passed.
Where exactly is it?
Do you know where Chocolate City used to be on
Yes.
Enon? That
Mhm.
business there, yes.
Okay,
And it's for
what,
13 and under.
okay, what is Exhibit A? Is that for us? So,
That is the actual permitted use table there where it lists out. Looking for it here. Amusement commercial indoor and then amusement commercial outdoor. The abbreviated, do you see the exhibit there in your attachments?
yes,
Okay, so the entire exhibit A in the zoning ordinance is a very long table that breaks out every different type of zoning and what businesses are allowed in different zoning areas. We're just amending just these two, the amusement commercial indoor and amusement commercial outdoor.
So indoor is going to be SSPP and outdoor is going to be PPPP.
Yeah, so S is special use permit. So if somebody wants to open up an outdoor amusement, they must come before the Planning and Zoning Commission and City Council with a special use permit inside commercially zoned property. However, if it's an industrial, it's permitted. They don't have to come ask for special permission.
Okay,
Indoor amusement is permitted, meaning they don't have to come to council to request a special. use.
okay.
okay, so she needs C1, C2, D and E, is that it?
She just needs C1, but what we're doing with this process is we're changing our whole ordinance to say that indoor amusement is allowed in commercial 1, commercial 2, light industrial, which is D, and heavy industrial, which is E. So if a property is zoned any of those, then indoor amusement is allowed in any of those zoning locations.
So what's the letter going to be for indoor? It's all Ps right now.
That is what we're changing it to.
Oh, okay,
Currently,
okay.
it's not permitted at all.
Okay.
There's nothing in that box.
Okay, so that's what it's going to become.
This is what
Okay.
you're approving is to change it to read this.
Okay, cool.
Correct.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, let's do it.
Would you poll the council?
Place 3,
Aye.
place 4,
Aye.
place 5,
Aye.
place 6,
Aye.
Mayor,
Aye.
motion carries.
Okay, item C, approve ordinance 783, an ordinance of the City of Everman, Texas, amending chapter 14 Parks and Recreation by amending city-owned park regulations for Clyde Pittman and Johnson Parks, providing regulations, providing this ordinance and cumulative of all other ordinances, providing for severability, providing a penalty for violations, publication, and providing an effective date. Entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve ordinance 783 as read.
Second.
Motion made and seconded.
What exactly is it?
So after previous discussion about changing the park rules to allow dogs, this
yeah.
ordinance would amend the park rules. If you look at section 2, where it lists section 14-21, it states pets prohibited unless otherwise specifically authorized. Directly below that is section 27, where it states dogs are allowed within Clyde Pittman Park and Johnson Park if dogs are on leashes, owners collect and remove pet waste, and dogs have current rabies vaccination. Except as provided by subsection 27A, all pets are strictly prohibited from Memorial Park, all sports fields, and within 100 feet of any concession stand.
Does the city provide those little bags?
We will look to with this next budget with our park fund. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we're gonna need those little bags,
Yes.
just because. And trash cans.
We're
sort
looking
of
at
close.
replacing all of the trash cans anyway with ones with lids that trash doesn't
Oh,
blow out
excellent.
of. Yes. ma'am.
'Cause it does blow out. Okay, cool.
Okay, so any further discussion?
No.
Would you poll council?
Place 3,
Aye.
place 4,
Aye.
place 5.
Aye.
Place 6.
Aye.
Mayor,
Aye.
motion carried.
Okay, next item is executive session. Item A, section 551.087, deliberation regarding economic development negotiations, property development of city-owned properties on North Ray Street. Item B, section 551.074, personnel matters, past performance review and evaluation of city manager. Time is 7:21. We'll just go into the break room.
Yeah.
out of town on the 30th, she told me.
So that's about two.
Okay.
She's listening too.
All right, I'm gonna call the meeting back to order. The time is 7:44. No action was taken during executive session. Next item is city manager's report.
As y'all know, the Civic Center ribbon cutting and the town hall meeting were both this past week. Both went really, really well. We had a lot of good feedback from the town hall meeting. The citizens liked the opportunity to interact and hear about the many different projects and things that we've got going on. And then staff did receive a lot of good feedback for budget considerations. Everman ISD also last night, their school board approved the allocation of funds to add 3 additional school resource officers.
Breathe.
So that contract and MOU will be increasing. Obviously, Everman ISD pays all the costs associated with those. So as we work on budget, we'll probably, they're wanting to start it in August when school starts back up. So we may have some budget amendments to propose, but of course, we'll bring that into local back to you to make sure that you're good with it before we move forward. However, in the meantime, we are going to go ahead and start our recruitment campaign to try to find 3 additional officers.
Okay.
All this, of course.
Leave us.
Yeah, all this, of course, is really in response to the nationwide security issues and concerns that we're seeing within the schools. Just a reminder that we have our gala on Friday night at 6:30. If anybody has an RSVP and would still like to come, please come. I think it's going to be a great event. We've got a lot of sponsors for the event, so council will love this. There is not a single dime of general fund being spent on this event. Everything is being covered through sponsors and donations. So when you show up and you see a very glamorous event and some actual live entertainment that's going to be there and nice door prizes, just know that it didn't cost you anything. All the sponsors stepped up and covered it all.
Cool.
And then, of course, the next day, after a long night, we're going to have Celebrate America Festival. That is this coming Saturday. Chief Wiley's been working his tail off on this. We have like 60 to 70 different vendors. We're setting records this year, so there's going to be a ton of vendors out there this year, all kinds of food, all types of food. Alcohol sales, of course, will be out there. And then we've got a ton of craft vendors, bounce houses, all kinds of fun out there this year. So it's definitely going to be the biggest one yet. And we're pretty excited about it. So
What
that's all
time's
I-
that start?
6 o'clock,
6 o'clock.
right? Okay. And then we are doing fireworks again, as long as county doesn't put in a burn ban before Saturday. We will do fireworks again this year.
And about what time is that going to be?
9:30. Festival shuts down at 9. We do fireworks at 9:30.
We're gonna do, I've got it listed as 9:10 to 9:15, just so that I don't want people to have that lull. Based off the down, when for the daylight, it should be dark by 9:10. So I want to just do it as early as possible.
Okay.
So as early as 9:10 or 9:15, as late as 9:25.
Okay. We'll put 9:15-ish.
So, but the vendors and stuff can pick up after the fireworks then, or do they have to
They
pick up at
have,
night?
so once we begin shooting fireworks, Wichita and Race from Bell and at Enon will be complete, or Trammell will be completely shut down. No pedestrian, no vehicular traffic in or out, just because it's within the fall zone.
Okay.
But before and
After,
after,
got
it's a lot.
Cool.
Everybody was pretty happy and impressed with the fireworks show this year. We did shorten it a little bit, but increase the impact as well.
Gotcha.
So it's not going to be as long, but it'll still be just as good as it was last year.
I'm excited.
So
Like, last year was actually too long.
it was really good. Yeah.
It was good, but it was too long.
It's gonna be
So
at most 30. But it's gonna be an action packed 30.
30
Last year was-
minutes?
Last year was an hour show. Yeah.
Wow.
all you got?
That's all I got, Mayor.
Mayor's report, I don't have anything, but I would like to say, Craig, I appreciate the hard work that you and the employees and department heads and everybody has done. I know
Yes.
council appreciates it, and I do for the most part. Well, you know, there's always, no, I mean, there's always somebody that doesn't
Some days we appreciate.
give you the credit due. So I appreciate everything you do.
I always
So,
give
It was a
credit.
backhanded
I always
compliment.
do give Craig credit, don't I?
Yes, best maybe do that.
but sometimes he just feels like he's having to defend himself and,
Full council.
but
But that's what it's all about, right? Debating and making sure that we do the right thing.
the ribbon cutting, I wasn't able to be there because my grandson had COVID, but
was
I was there Saturday and it went really well. I mean, Craig covered all the key points and people that were there, I thought were there to complain about stuff.
They just wanted to
didn't say
hear. They just
anything.
wanted to
They
listen.
heard what Craig,
Mhm.
what his presentation was, and they left. So
About, what was the
Speaking
head
of
count for
that-
Saturday?
Speaking of that,
It
could
was
we get
probably
a
about
copy?
50
Yes,
altogether.
Could we get a copy of their presentation?
Yes, ma'am, I can do that.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
that's all I got. If you pass that on to the employees, if I need to put something in writing, I will, but I appreciate everything that everybody's done. So,
Yes.
Yes, we do.
but with that being said, we will adjourn. The time is 7:50.